Welcome to this episode of OC Now. I'm Excelli Silva, along with Ken Kousler, coming to you from Saddleback College's studio in Mission Viejo. So glad you can join us.
We're looking forward to getting you up to date on what's happening on Saddleback College's campus and all around the OC. So let's get started.
OC Flex is OCTA's new on-demand curb-to-curb shuttle service covering 2 areas in Orange County. The shuttle operates 7 days a week and is part of a pilot program. Inside each OC Flex zone, you can take unlimited rides for just $4.50 per day with the OC Flex mobile app, or $5 a day if paying with cash on board. The pilot program service is currently available in some areas of Huntington Beach, Westminster, Aliso Viejo, Laguna Niguel, and Mission Viejo. Former Mayor of Costa Mesa, Gary Monahan, was arrested on suspicion of DUI hit and run. According to OC Register, Costa Mesa Police Department spokeswoman Roxy Fayad said Monahan sideswiped his vehicle into another vehicle near Costa Mesa Restaurant and Bar, Skosh Monahan's, an establishment Monahan owns. The suspect resigned as mayor of Costa Mesa in 2012 and then served as a city councilman of Costa Mesa until he termed out in 2016. Monahan was released from custody and agreed to appear in court. 18-year-old Maximilian Ludwig was arrested on November 23rd and charged with the murder of his father, Christopher Ludwig. His body was found on a trail near Niguel Woods Park in Laguna Niguel. Although a motive has not yet been identified, Max has been arrested and charged for the murder and is currently awaiting trial without bail. Walking home alone at night can be frightening, especially with the sun setting earlier. So I went out to talk to Get Safe Krav Maga in Tustin about protecting yourself at night. Hi, I'm Excelli Silva, and today I'm here with
Stuart Haskin.
Hi Stuart, so can you tell me a little bit about what you do here at Get Safe?
Well, yes, in the background you can see we have a training match, so we teach Krav Maga, we have kickboxing classes, and we have kids classes here. But then in the field we talk about personal safety and awareness, where we're trying to change people's minds to make it safer so they have more positive outcomes.
Why do you think learning self-defense is so important?
I think it's important for a few reasons. I think, yes, it gives you a quiet confidence and you feel like you can help yourself get out of situations, but there's a fitness level. There's all kinds of things that go with it. And then also the fact that we add personal safety, because the ultimate goal is not to have to fight and kick. It's to get out of a situation before it happens.
And what can students take away in a general class session here?
Well, they'll learn some physical movements, but also we have a SAFE acronym. So there's scanning, assessing, forecasting, execute. So that's like your situational awareness.
And what makes your program here different from others?
I think we're very interactive. We try and keep it light and fun, but then we always pepper in situational awareness, environmental awareness, and safety.
And do you have any advice if someone comes into danger and they have no prior experience with self-defense on how or what they should do?
Yes, they should run. But that's the oldest form of self-defense, but creating noise. We have 3 weapons, our mind, voice, and body. Yelling, screaming, trying to grab attention, throwing things, whatever you can do to get out and grab people's attention.
All right, thank you for your time.
For iPhone users, Apple has newly released an emergency SOS with iOS 11. With SOS, your iPhone automatically calls your local emergency number when activated. All you need to do is press and hold down the side button and one of your volume buttons, and from there a simple slide can notify emergency services. Another great phone service is Noonlight. This app was created for both Apple and Android users. Noonlight works with the simple release of the app, and from there you have 10 seconds to input a PIN or police are notified of your location. Technology has made being safe a bit easier, but nothing beats learning self-defense.
For more information about the free Noonlight app and how to download it, visit noonlight.com.
On December 3rd, Anaheim City Council agreed to spend approximately $4 million to purchase the Piano Empire Megastore building located on East La Mesa Street. The plans for this building are for it to become a low-threshold homeless shelter with 125 beds. The City of Anaheim is expected to finance and build one or more homeless shelters with a total capacity of 325 beds as a result of the recent lawsuit settlement. The location will be managed by the nonprofit organization Illumination Foundation and will provide case management, job, and housing advice services for guests. The shelter is expected to open in the next 60 days. Local Catholic high school, J. Sarah, is the first high school in the country to provide each of their athletes with an EEG brain scan. These brain scans will be performed on campus before each season starts and will be a baseline for brain health of its athletes. The school's athletic director, Jamie Rogers, said that the new technology will save athletes a lot of money on hospital bills. The injured athletes will be able to get their brain scanned if any trauma occurs during practice or games, and the scanner will be compared to the results of their preseason scans. If there is any brain trauma present, they will be advised of whether or not they should go to the hospital. According to a Pew Research Center recent survey, the United States is a nation divided when it comes to food. About 49% of U.S. adults are health-oriented eaters, while the other half are less focused on healthy foods. The Ecology Center in San Juan Capistrano is trying to change these eating habits for the local community. This is Ken Counselor with the OC News Team. I'm here in San Juan Capistrano at the Ecology Center, where they're bringing farm to table. The Ecology Center's headquarters is located in the historic Congdon Farmhouse in San Juan Capistrano on Ali Paz Street. It sits on a 140-year-old, 28-acre historic farm. The center claims that in 10 years, they've transformed a dirt lot into a thriving ecosystem designed around permaculture principles. The Ecology Center, a nonprofit organization that focuses on curating ecological experiences for everyone, recently held a public event to celebrate the publication of their first cookbook titled Community Table: Recipes for an Ecological Food Future. Community Table describes 10 principles of a regenerative food system, which include eating fresh and seasonally, buying locally, choosing organic items, respecting animals, growing your own food items when possible, celebrating diversity, promoting polycultures, nourishing all children, educating for change, and celebrating harvest. The Ecology Center also has a working farm and living laboratory for students in Encinitas. Their recent commemoration made me wonder about the sustainable food movement in Southern California, specifically Orange County.
Well, it's a movement that's time has come, for sure. It's critical that we grow our food locally.
I sat with Professor Robert Farnsworth, the department chair of Saddleback's Horticulture and Landscape Design, to chat about the relationship between horticulture and sustainable food.
Oh, it's a constant problem in the environment. Our historic ways of farming and such have depleted so many lands. I think locally sourced gives us more control of the land and the chemicals that we put on it and such, or don't put on it actually. Locally sourced is even better than organic at the local market because you don't have plastic packaging and such. I've just recently seen potatoes that are, I guess, microwave ready, but potatoes wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
So I prefer to get mine at the local source. Okay. I think we have to pay a lot of attention to climate change and how it will affect our production of vegetables. There's a lot of pressure in creating more farming in rainforest, for example, and every time we cut down an acre of rainforest, we're contributing to climate change. So using space, using land that's already available is a much better alternative. I think that would be very healthy for the students. And I think that our culinary arts department is actually working on a proposal.
After Professor Farnsworth informed me about the culinary arts department's effort to bring in more locally sourced options, I decided to speak to Saddleback students about what these food choices might mean for them.
Like, a lot of our foods are processed, and that's never good for our bodies. You know, the more organic, the better. And in the long run, that's always going to help us. Yeah.
Is this going to drastically increase the price of the food is available to us? I mean, yes, obviously, when you have an organic label on it, it's more attractive. People would think, okay, this is cleaner going to my body, but at what cost? So, for the most part, if we can somehow find a sustainable way, then yes, by all means.
The Ecology Center operates its newly opened farm stand daily. All food ingredients sold at the farm stand are grown within 250 miles of San Juan Capistrano.
This holiday season, Orange County will be hosting its annual Winterfest on the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa. The event will include outside ice skating, ice tubing, snow summit, and much more. Winterfest will be held from December 21st to January 7th, and tickets will range from $10 to $60. This is a great family fun event for anyone to enjoy and get into the holiday spirit. Looking to read a little history about Saddleback and the OC, Saddleback College's student-run Lariat newspaper has recently archived most of their issues from the past 50 years, starting with the very first issue in October 1968 up through May 2016. The archive has been a work in progress since 2016 and is now available for your reading pleasure. With over 860 issues online, be sure to check it out at cdnc.ucr.edu.
Former President George H.W. Bush passed away on November 30th, also known as 41. The 41st U.S. president lived an accomplished life. After the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, the then future president enlisted into the U.S. Navy and became a pilot. Flying in 58 combat missions, surviving after being shot down by Japanese forces. After the war, Bush attended Yale University, married his sweetheart, and founded an oil company. Bush then went on to serve in the House of Representatives, ambassador to the United Nations, director of the CIA, and vice president for Ronald Reagan, before being elected president in 1989. His wife Barbara passed away in April of this year. George H.W. Bush was 94 when he died and is the longest living president in U.S. history. Dr. Elliot Stern is appointed Saddleback College's new president starting in January 2019. The search for a new president became nationwide as Gregory Anderson abruptly left Saddleback for personal reasons after 7 months. Former Saddleback President Anderson is now the newly appointed president of River City College, starting his term the first year, while James Bice has been Saddleback's interim president since Anderson stepped down. Dr. Elliott was the former vice president of instruction at Lake Washington Institute of Technology before coming to Saddleback. We welcome Dr. Stern as Saddleback's new president this upcoming January. Rocket Racing hosted its annual Elves on Trails 5K and half marathon. This race definitely put runners in the holiday spirit, with a beautiful run through San Juan Capistrano's Casper's Wilderness Park. All finishers received a medal, tech shirt, and race photos. If you plan on joining the race next year, be sure to wear your best elf outfit or other holiday attire. Prizes from Roadrunner Sports were awarded to top 3 overall male and female winners. For more information or to register for next year's race, go to rocketracingoc.com. On November 8th, Saddleback College hosted an open house for Cinema TV Radio's new production studio. OC News team attended the open house to learn more about what this $2.3 million television studio means to students, to the department, and to the college.
Quiet on set.
On November 8th, Saddleback College's CTVR department held an open house to showcase the new $2.3 million TV studio.
I started here back in 2011, and this building was empty because the whole LRC was being rebuilt at the time. So I don't know exactly when the construction on this studio began, but I would say it was at least a year and a half in the making of actual construction, not to mention the years this thing sat empty. It was originally going to be an $800,000 project that turned into a $1.3 million project that turned into a $2.3 million project. So that's been a frustration just from a budget standpoint. The technology and the beautiful sets and the facility, they're all just tools. I don't really think it's going to change drastically the quality of the content that we make. It might look a little bit better, but I think the same heart is going to be there, and I think the students are still getting the same level of education that they were in the old studio. I was so surprised to see how many people showed up to our open house. It was fantastic, and just to see the smile on everybody's face. They really do light up when they walk into this facility, just because it looks like a professional studio, and it really truly is. Yeah. It is.
On top of the TV studio being showcased, right next door, the new KSVR studio was also on display. We spoke to the radio news director of KSVR to find out more on her thoughts and feelings on the new studio.
When I'm on the air, after doing it as many years as I'm in a comfortable place because I'm communicating what I know to the public, and I enjoy that aspect of it. I may have one listener, I may have no listeners, but in my heart of hearts, I know I'm doing good and I'm communicating what's important to the public, and that is gratifying.
What this is going to be is our opportunity to kind of show the world that we can put out some really world-class content that maybe other schools like us aren't quite able to do. And if it gets us a little bit of national recognition, maybe get some more students involved in taking our program, and maybe paints our college in a positive light, then we're happy to do anything we can do to help.
OC News team is excited to be using the new studio for the first time this fall. If you'd like to join our team for the spring semester, check out Video Journalism 106.
If you're interested in taking classes in the new studio, be sure to check out Saddleback's spring class schedule for video journalism or other CTVR courses. Registration is ongoing now with classes starting in January.
That's it for our show today. Be sure to visit us on our website at ocnewsteam.com as well as on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Exceli Silva.
And I'm Ken Counselor. On behalf of the entire OC News team here at Saddleback, thank you for joining us for this episode of OC Now. We'll see you back in the new year, Orange County.